when you're doing this, like, tagay sa demonyo, what you're really doing is you're saying, like, we're gonna give him a shot so that, like, nothing bad happens to us while we're drinking because we, like, paid him off. And that means we're not going to have a fight with each other while drinking. Nobody's gonna get killed at the karaoke bar in a my way killing. So it's gonna, like, keep the devil's spirit from rising up in any of us and wreaking havoc. So we released a video about this a few weeks back tungkol sa ating top 5 na observations of Filipino superstitions that I find really quite out there and quite hilarious. And you guys sent in a lot of comments about that. And you're like, hey, Urbano, you missed a bunch of, like, obvious superstitions about our food culture. So I wanted to get back to you guys and be like, no, I read all of your comments and we can make another video about this because it's a really interesting topic. At least you guys think so kasi dami ng mga viewer dyan, dami ng mga comment dyan. So let's talk a bit more today about Filipino food superstitions. So let's start off with some more pregnant women superstitions. Now, there's this idea dito sa Pilipinas that if a woman craves the fruit of a particular tree while she's pregnant, then as a result of that, para yung craving niya for that fruit, that tree will then either stop producing fruit and reach its, like, end of life as a tree, or if it's still producing fruit, it will be, like, not particularly sweet or tasty fruit anymore. Don't know really the reason why. If anybody can explain a bit more about that one, please let me know. And related to that, there's this idea that if a pregnant woman picks the leaves of a particular tree, right? So she goes out, I don't know why she's picking the leaves or what particular leaves they are, but if she picks the leaves, then that tree will kind of wither and die. It said the tree will become shy. And Average7 here, one of our subscribers, tells us this story that her mom actually, when she was pregnant, picked leaves of a bayabas, a guava tree, and then the tree basically died right after that. So now, if she's pregnant, she doesn't touch leaves of any plant because you're just gonna kill the plant. So I don't know about that one. I'm trying to even think how the psychology works. Like, maybe it's the idea that the tree becomes shy if pregnant women are shy, or maybe it's like you're somehow drawing the tree's energy or life force or something because you're growing a baby or life force of your own. But pretty interesting one. It's out there. Leave a comment if you know a bit more about this one. Now, my next Filipino superstition, and I actually do see this one from time to time in Manila. We really did miss it in the last video, but it's this idea that when you are choking, so let's say you're eating too much chicken, you've got your kaligayahan ng manok there, you're pounding it, get the chicken bone caught in your throat, and you're choking, right? Filipinos, instead of helping you, like patting you on the back or doing the Heimlich maneuver or something to help you dislodge the chicken bone, they're not going to help you with survival. They're going to say to you, give me a number. And I don't really get it, because are you supposed to give the number while you're choking? Like, you're choking on a chicken bone, you're like, 9. I think you gotta, like, dislodge the bone first and then the number game happens. But anyway, you give a number and then it's a really secret code, because whatever number you give, they're just gonna count A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, right? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So that's the 9th letter of the alphabet. Really tough code to crack. And then they're gonna be like, there must be somebody thinking of you whose name begins with I. And I look at this and I'm like, all right, so one, you're choking and you don't get any assistance. Like, nobody renders any sort of aid. They ask you a number. 2, this is so easy to game, right? Because you know you're going to be asked the question. I have been asked this when choking on something. Like, normally it's like when you choke on water and you're like coughing the water up. So it's not always the life and death situation where they're asking, but you're like coughing up the water. And I'm like, but I can just game this, right? So if I'm in high school and I'm thinking about, like, my high school crush and his name is Chris, then I just go 3, easy. And then we were like, ooh, Chris is thinking about you. I'm talking about Chris Evans, right? Not me, he's far better. So Chris is thinking about you. If you say 3, if your crush's name is, you're a guy, your crush's name is Maria, right? Then you just give, that would be 13. And you're just gonna count through till number 13, which is M. And then everyone's like, oh, Maria's your crush. Kind of feels like a little illogical as a superstition. I don't think it really achieves a result, because it's so easy to bias it to whatever letter you want to be the person thinking about you. And I also think Filipinos should, like, the first response would be like, are you okay? As opposed to give me a number. So that one's pretty funny. I guess you can see how it's just evolved probably out of, like, schoolyard games, right? But pretty funny one. The next one is, so we talked a bit in the last vlog about sitting at the table and what that means for your loneliness and whatever. Now, if you transfer seats a lot, like you're a bit of a social butterfly at the fiesta, you sit at this part of the table, then you go get seconds, then you sit over here, then you go get your thirds, and then you sit here the fourths. Filipinos eat a lot, of course. And if that happens to you, it means you're going to end up marrying multiple times. And that one I was like, okay, but to my knowledge, it's still actually not possible to get legally divorced in the Philippines. So this is a superstition that says you'll end up marrying a lot of times, and yet the process to actually remarry in the Philippines is very difficult. So I find this superstition quite implausible, and maybe it's one that really came from a few centuries ago prior to there being sort of a no divorce policy in the Philippine legal code, or it could have evolved that way. Or it actually means that you're going to marry several times, because I think the one way you can marry multiple times is if you're widowed. So this one I'm like, does it mean you're going to marry a lot of times, or does it mean a lot of your partners are going to die so that you can remarry a lot of times? Because that's pretty much the easiest legal route to remarrying in the Philippines. So that is one that apparently is true. So if you want to keep your partner healthy and happy and safe in the relationship, choose your chair at the start of the night. Don't change chair. It's that simple. So this phenomena was described by Suzette San Miguel David as wag palipat-lipat ng upuan while eating. Kasi palipat-lipat din ng asawa. And then like laughing until tears coming out face twice. I don't know. I'm gonna shed a bit more light there, but that's apparently a thing. So the next superstition that I heard about from our subscribers was the idea that if you want to extend your life, you want your life expectancy to go up. It's very simple. You just have to eat pancit. Because the noodles are long, so shall your life be long. And I'm like, okay, so where I'm from in Australia, we would look at things like having a good diet, eating fruits and vegetables, cutting down on alcohol, quitting smoking. These is all things that would tend to enhance your life expectancy, like annual visits to the doctor, physical checkups for early detection of any kind of ailments or diseases. The nice thing about living in the Philippines is I don't need medical insurance, I don't need doctors, I don't need vegetables. All I need to do is eat more pancit and I can live longer. So this one is fantastic for me because I'm like, doctors are expensive and pancit is cheap. It's fantastic, right? So if you were thinking about how to extend your life expectancy, go no further. Go to supermarket. Pancit canton's like, what, 9 pesos a pack. Buy yourself the whole box or the value pack. It's like 5 packets to one big packet. And you can just eat that every day and you're gonna have a long life. And it's not just pancit. It can be spaghetti. It can be jolly spaghetti. So your choice of carbs is almost limitless. And it doesn't matter which type of noodles. Like can be more like pancit canton noodles. Could also be yung mga vermicelli noodles as well. That's okay. Thicker egg noodles. That's okay as well. So if you just want a reason to eat noodles, this is it. Go for it. There's a superstition that you will live longer as a result. Not sure I believe this one. And especially on birthdays, that's the time where you've got to eat that. And we do this even for si AJ Urbano. He's always had pancit served at his birthdays. So this like really does happen in my household. I can definitely attest that this is a thing in the Philippines. And the last one that came up when I was reading it was this idea of pamahiin sa alak. So this idea of like the devil's pour when you open a bottle of alcohol. So kung halimbawa na you got your bottle of tanduay or your MP or whatever and you're sitting there with your mga kalasingero sa isang tambayan. And I have a lot of experience being a tambay dito sa Pilipinas. Like importante dyan na isang parte ng karanasan ng mga Filipino, if that makes sense. Like it's a really iconic part of being a Filipino is to spend at least some of your time as a tambay. You sit there, you pass around the little bottle cap shots of MP or tanduay or something, not an endorsement. I don't actually drink those things. And then you shot those and then you usually chase it with a Coke, also not an endorsement. But this idea of like shotting alak on the side of the road is a big one here in the Philippines. And when you're doing this like tagay sa demonyo, what you're really doing is you're saying like we're gonna give him a shot so that like nothing bad happens to us while we're drinking because we like paid him off. We gave him his cut and that means we're not gonna have bad hangovers tomorrow. We're not going to have a fight with each other while drinking. Nobody's gonna get killed at the karaoke bar in a my way killing. All of this we're all going to be protected from because we paid off the devil, so it's gonna like keep the devil's spirit from rising up in any of us and wreaking havoc. So this shot would normally be just poured like on the ground, and I think the idea is that if hell, whether it's a figurative or literal place, typically is conceived of being below us, so I guess the idea is you pour it and it's gonna seep through the ground to the dark angel's lair. So I think that's how you like get it to him. I don't think he like physically appears and shots it with you. That would probably be a bit weird. It's kind of an offering to the devil, and it's believed alak is made by the devil, so it's kind of like appropriate that you're then offering him his cut. For me, this one, yeah, I see it. I kind of find it plausible, but I'd be interested to hear from any, like if you are a tambay, if you are mag-iniinom dito sa Manila, please let me know what you think of this, why you guys do that, the guys demonyo, while you're drinking on the side of the road. Love to hear from all the tambays out there. So there it is, mga kabano, and mga kabanos to be. If you're not a kabano, kabano already. That's my like Chris Urbano, people who like watching my videos group is kabanos. Because Kapamilya was taken, thanks ABS. And then I was like, oh, easy, I'll go with Kapuso, it's taken. And then I was gonna go for Kapatid, also taken. Kabano just comes from Chris Urbano. And if you want to become a kabano, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button below, and you can do the same thing over at our Facebook page. And if you go to our Facebook page, we have like a lot of fun games over there, a lot of cooking prize giveaways. So if you're into food and fun and Filipino culture, it's the place for you online. And I'd love to keep having this conversation. Leave your comments below what other superstitions I missed or responses to anything I wrote about today, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. I'm Chris Urbano. Thanks, mga kabano. I'll see you next time. Bye.